Second issue, was this about the President of the United States believing he needed to do this for his own and his country's interests, or was he talked into it by his buddy Bibi? Somebody who knows the answer to both. Former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Mr. Michael Oren. I spent a lot of time with him in the northern part of the country. He said that's where we needed to be, and he was right. Michael, thank you for giving us the access up there and for taking the trip with me, and thanks for joining us tonight.
It was good to be with you, Chris, and great interview with Ron Johnson. It's always a pleasure to listen to him. Some guy.
Yeah, I just wish he was talking more about why he came into the Senate in the first place, which was our fiscal understanding. Anyway,
Right.
Lebanon. As you know better than I do for sure, it is highly kinetic in Lebanon right now. There's a lot going on. People are just starting to see the images. This is going to hit people heavy here. Why is it necessary to go in the way Israel is right now?
All right, so let's go back. What happened? War with Iran. We did not have a war with Lebanon. But Hezbollah, which is a branch of Iran, it's run and operated and funded wholly by Iran, got an order from Tehran, open fire. So it opened fire. It opened fire on northern Israel tonight. Dozens and dozens of rockets falling, not just in the northern part of Israel, but now in the central Israel, being hit by rockets from north of Beirut, being hit in Tel Aviv. And so Israel had no choice but to respond, of course. And you want to respond from the air, but, that's of limited efficacy, responding from the air. Eventually, you've got to go in with ground troops and certainly with artillery. And there's just no choice. We've got hundreds of thousands of people who are under direct fire. Many, many thousands have been displaced. And the really terrible thing, you were up there, the Galilee. It's an area of Israel that's precious to many people around the world, certainly not just to Jews. It's going to be uninhabitable. No one's going to be able to live there. And I mean, you wouldn't take your young kids up there either to live in the Galilee, as beautiful and as precious and holy as it is. So we have no choice. It's truly a war for choice, which is why close to 100% of Israelis support that war.
Do you think that the United States is going to get dragged into Lebanon either because the Lebanese are asking for it or the IDF is?
No, certainly we're not asking for it. And I don't think the United States should. If some of us remember the early 1980s when President Reagan sent the Marines into Lebanon several times, by the way, not just once. And they were targeted by Hezbollah, by the same organization. The largest single loss of American military life since World War II in 1983 when they blew up the Marine barracks. They also blew up the American embassy in Beirut. So close to 300 Americans killed during these two operations. That's just that. And then eventually Reagan had to pull those Marines out, and it was a tremendous blow to America's image in the world. It didn't help. So no, Israel is certainly not asking for it.
Here we are again. So this is, I told you when we were together, right, I told you when we were together that this narrative, let's call it, that Trump got duped by Bibi. This is good for Israel. Attack the regime actively in Iran, let him go in and take out Hezbollah. This is good for Israel, but this would not have been America's first priority. Trump must have been talked into it by Bibi. What do you make of that assertion?
All right, and I'm not accusing you of anything here, but this is the one of the oldest anti-Semitic tropes in the book. That there is a wily and cunning Jew who takes the innocent and not too bright Gentile and wraps him around his fingers and gets him to do acts which are against his interests. It goes back 1,000 years. Nothing new about this. So let's look at the facts. It's true that Bibi, since the 1990s, has been calling out Iran, saying that is the major threat to Israel, the Middle East, and the West. And the eve of the Iraqi war in 2003, when everyone was clamoring to go to war against Saddam Hussein, Israeli leaders at the time was Ari Sharon says, no, this is the wrong war. The right war is the war against Iran. I started working with the first Bush administration. That was our message all the time. And why are you getting involved in Iraq? The real problem is Iran. And when I started going into as an ambassador in 2009 to Obama, that was our message over and over again. So there's nothing new about this. And Bibi has said now to, 6 presidents in a row, this is the major threat facing the United States. So we in Israel look at the situation and this debate going on in the United States, whether the threat was imminent, not imminent, whether it's a necessary war or an unnecessary war. And we kind of scratch our heads, Chris. Since that 1979, Iran has committed literally hundreds of acts of war against the United States. Forget about Israel, against the United States. Mm-hmm. And you give me about an hour and I'll go through them all. There's nothing like it in certainly post-World War II history. And you're dealing with a regime which on a daily basis says its raison d'etre was to destroy the United States of America and was always acquiring the means to do it and then carrying acts of terror, some of them even on American soil. And we would look at this and say, wait a minute, is there a debate whether the United States had to go to war here? Let's just get this straight.
Well,
so
look, here's the best.
When to start. I don't know who gets to start.
It's not.
But I think it's probably insulting to Trump's intelligence to say, hey, someone like twisted him around a finger and got him to go to war.
Well, I hear you on that point, and I really think it's the saving grace here. I don't think that Trump is doing enough to help his friend Bibi if this is true. But the president has said, no. He didn't talk me into anything. Nobody talks me into anything. I needed to do this. I talked Bibi into it. So to the extent that this narrative is making its way around MAGA, it is Trump who says it's not true. I don't know if that'll mean anything to them, but that is the state of play right now. Michael, I have to jump. Thank you very much. Thank you for being in touch. Thank you for being helpful. I'm always a call away.
You are indeed. Take care. Good to be with you, Chris. Good night.
We will. 4 minutes and 15 seconds.